Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Market Scholars for the London session. Today being the 5th of November, 2024. Welcome once again to our Market Scholars session. This session is powered by Octa, formerly known as Octa FX, and is brought to you by the Value Flow Trading team. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Before we continue this session, I'd like us to share the link to this Market Caller to as many as possible. For those that belong to several communities on Instagram, Facebook, and even WhatsApp, do ensure that you share the link to those communities and even to individuals this session will be beneficial to. All right, that being said, the link will be dropped in the chat box and you can share it from there. Be going into the charts this morning. We'll be doing analysis on indices. By indices, I mean the US 30, the NAS 100, and also S&P 500, after which my colleague will be coming on board for the second part of the analysis that is based on commodity asset class. That being said, let's move to the charts quickly. All right. So this week is an interesting week for NAS and also US 30 because of the uniqueness of the week. The US election is currently going on, and then we can see that across board, we have a very ranging market in terms of, give me a sec. A sec, please. Okay, our chart is clear. All right, we have a ranging market. When you check the daily time frame, it has been ranging all through last week, right? We've been in a kind of sell. However, also from the daily time frame, let's just do a quick technical analysis before we jump into the fundamental. Last week, we mentioned that this break of this structure, this low here, will signify a very the beginning of a sell-off to the downside, right? And that is what happened. However, price just swept it with a week, right? Price broke the low, and then we saw a sharp rejection to the upside, which was this next green candle, then followed by the next indecision candle also. However, we can see that they all closed above the line, right? Which means that most likely sellers have not taken over the market yet. They are still struggling. There's like a struggle between sellers and buyers on the daily time frame, right? When we come to the 4-hour time frame, you can see that the price action is quite messy in the sense that the market is trying to react to the news of the election, right? The election rally and the election processes. We've been seeing different news throughout last week and the different rally from different candidates. So this is what the market is trying to do and then react to it. However, on last week, I think last week Friday, we had a significant news that Amazon released their financial reports, and then they had a gain, right? Their gain actually drove price action to the upside. However, we saw a sharp drop to the downside again. Price markets recovering all of that gain due to job claim, right? We had a lower job claim last week also. So all the gains from Amazon was, taken back. That being said, what are we looking at this morning? Actually, for this morning, we can see that price action is a bit in a very tight place, in the sense that we are waiting for the market is waiting for this election, right, to actually begin to price in properly. Give me a sec. Okay. So on this 1-hour time frame for US 30, you can see that we are very bearish the downside. That's number one. Number two, is that although we are very to the downside, on our daily time frame, we didn't see that clear sweep of market structure to the downside that we give us that confidence to start taking sell trade. The third thing is that we can't take any trade today is because of the randomness happening so far. The price action is not clear. It's not looking very, very clear. And that is because of a very single factor, a very not it's a single factor, but then a very strong and major one, right? Which is the election that is currently going on in the US. So for that reason, I would just want to pause on every trading activities across US 30, NAS 100, and S&P 500 because they are strongly correlated to whatever it is that is going on in the US currently, right? And what is going on in the US is quite significant, right? So on NAS too, let's just quickly check on their market structure for daily, and then from there we can proceed. On NASDAQ, we've seen that break of structure to the downside. However, the market is still really bullish. But then from now we can begin to look for sales to the downside because this break was quite significant. We had the first break here, and then price broke, and then we saw a sharp move to the upside. We expect price to still continue to the downside, break all of this, invariably for it to go and tap into this fair value gap that's not been tapped into for the past many months. So that's like the overview of what is going to happen. If for any reason the market reacts to the election in a bearish way. All right, that being said, let's go to the 1 hour. To the 1 hour, I will have taken a sell trade. However, today is very, very, very significant. So there's no point even trying to, guess whatever it is, because this is like a box pattern. Let's bring it to 30 minutes, like a box pattern here, a sweep, a break to the downside. Okay, we've not seen a break to the downside, so it's not even valid, right? Assuming we saw this sweep, this break of this structure, this lag swing, will have given us much more confidence to actually take the sell. But there was only a sweep, the break did not happen. And then for that reason, I just want to pause. But across board today, what I'll be doing is just watch the market and see how it reacts There's no point taking trades today because we don't want to jump in when the whole heat is still on. We want to allow the market to settle down, let the election results come out. Let's see how big institutions are going to digest that news, after which we as retail traders can now join and start taking position in the market. But overall, I believe we should see the US 30 and also stock, we should see all of them rally after the election. That's a typical thing. Probably 1 year after the election, we should see that significant rally before they now balance out and start selling off, repricing again, right? Because no president will want their first year after entering presidency to be very messy in terms of the market, right? So we've seen that over and over again, where once they enter the office, 1 year, the first year, the market does very well. A year after, the market begins to settle down, and then enter into a consolidation phase, after which, when we come to the pre-election year again, it begins to rally to the upside. So I'm expecting a market overview like that. That should be what we want to see. That should be what we see after the election, right? That being said, do we have any question? Do we have any question whatsoever? Because this morning, I'm not taking any trade on US 30, I'm not taking any trade across NAS and also across S&P 500. We are going to stay out and then watch how the market reacts to the election news and the election results. That being said, do we have any question? Do we have any question? Do you have any commentary? Do you have any commentary whatsoever? Is there any commentary before we go on a short break, where my colleague will be coming up for our own part of the market color analysis? Do we have any question? All right, in the absence of no question, we'll be going on a short break, and on the return, my colleague is going to. All right, Mr. Oluwaseyi is saying it's just a period to test the discipline. Exactly, exactly. I think this is the main. This is what I've been trying to say. It's just a period to test that discipline. Just keep your money. Keep your money. There's no point trying to trade the market. There's no setup. I'm telling you, there's no setup today. Just relax and keep your money. We'll meet again probably by tomorrow or even Thursday for any setup in the markets. That being said, we sure profitable trading.
Right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the second half of today's market color session, where we'll be covering commodity currency pairs, which include AU, NU, and USD CAD. Now, let's just catch up from our last week's analysis, shall we? Let's see what price has done since then. Our bias has not really changed, except we've hit some take profits on some levels that we marked out on Thursday. All right, so as our last week Thursday's analysis, we're still very much bearish. We went ahead to mark out certain key points on the H1 time frame. First one being somewhere between our momentum, the second one being inside our pullback, and then the final one being in our trend. Please let me know if you can hear me in the chat box. Just leave an emoji for me if we're together and you can see my screen as well. Let me know quickly before we proceed, please. Can you hear me? Good morning, Mr. Shea, AC Nature, Mr. Liberty. It's good to have you all here. Can you hear me? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can hear you and we can see your screen.
So price traded into momentum, TP1 hit, traded into pullback, TP2 hit, right? If we had entered the AUD buys to catch the reversals as at the time of last week's analysis. Now price is currently here. I'm not watching to see what price does at this particular zone. It's either it breaks above the zone and gives me a retest, and then we'll buy all the way back into the trend. Thank you so much, Liberty. Right, so on the 5-minute time frame now, I'm just going to go ahead and mark out even more specific price point for this particular session, wanting to see what price does when it gets to those zones. So for those of us who've been joining us for a while, you know them, pretty repetitive. The first one being yesterday's high, the second one being day before yesterday's low. The third one is now day before yesterday's high. And the final one is now yesterday's low, right? So what is price going to do at these different zones? You see that price traded into yesterday's low today and gave us a final lap. But if you did not catch this move from the beginning to this point, there is no point for you to jump into this buy right now, right? Because it has gone quite a distance. So you'd want to wait for price to give a reversal into this zone first before you now continue to buy. And then we'll now watch to see what price does at this particular zone. Because where price is heading to right now, either do two things. It's either it serves as a resistance that pushes price down and continues the H4 trend that we see, or it breaks above and gives us a retest into the 1 hour trend, which you have marked out. And when you get there, of course, you know that we're in for a very long buy to catch the reversal. Emphasis on reversal, because our overall bias is to the downside, but because of the indicators that we use, it gives us the opportunity to be able to take reversal trades as well, right? So a brief recap on AUD USD, H4 were clearly bearish, and we've marked out certain price points for price to retrace into. Now, price has already tapped into this. The next one is here. So is price going to break above this zone, give a retest, and buy all the way back into the trend? Or is it going to find resistance at this zone and continue the overall H4 bias? We're going to be watching to see what price does, and we're going to act accordingly. I hope this one is clear. If it is, please give me an emoji while I analyze the next pair. And if it is not, kindly ask your questions in the chat box. For NZD USD now, pretty similar to what we're seeing on AUD USD, right? Structure is also to the downside. Very clear. On the H1 time frame, what do we see? Now, NZD USD traded into the first level, which was our pullback, right? But you see that the entire move it did wasn't exactly all that. It's not a lot, right? Didn't do much on this particular asset class. So right now, I'm even trying to mark out NZD USD, the entire thing I see here as a zone. I want to see what price does. Very, very similar to what AUD USD is doing, except AU gave us some moves, right? So I want to see if price is going to either break above this zone or break below before I now decide on what my bias is going to be. However, all things being equal, we should see some reversals on NZD-USD because this sell trend has happened for a long period of time. And if you even go as far as using your Fibonacci to mark out this entire thing being your point A to B swing, you see that you want to see price retrace into certain levels, right? At the barest minimum, 50.0% Fibonacci level, which just happens to coincide with our trend, right? So I want to see price reverse before I continue the overall sell move or sell bias that I have on NZD-USD following the H4 structure, all right? On the M5 now, I'm going to do the same thing I did on NZD-USD, mark out my point of interest for this session. First one being yesterday's high, second one, yesterday's low, which is what we have right here. And the third one would now be the before yesterday's high, right? So the before yesterday's high and our horizontal line on the H1 time frame, are you confident? So what is price going to do here? I'm not in a hurry to jump in the trade on NZD-USD until I see it pick a clear direction, right? So for me to even say maybe the NZD-USD sell wants to continue, I'd want to see price break below all of these zones to the downside, right? But for me to say, okay, I want to jump in a buy, I want to see price break above all of these zones that I've marked out, and then I'll be interested in catching the reversal into the H1 trend. On USD CAD, what do we see on this guy? So structure is very bullish. See, first TP about to be hit. You see all these horizontal lines have been here since last week, Tuesday. We didn't exactly touch, last week, Thursday, we didn't touch them, right? So price almost got into our first TP. That's catching the reversals of USD CAD, and it has done this. But now that it has gone to retrace, I believe it's going to give us that final lap into this zone, right? And then eventually here and eventually here. So bias on USD CAD H4 to the upside, temporal reversals to specific zones, which is point of interest 1, point of interest 2, and point of interest 3. I'll go ahead and drag this a bit higher so it is right inside my trend. All right. Okay, so on the M5 now, POIs for this particular session, what are we saying? Marking out the zone, which is my day before yesterday's high, and my day before yesterday's low, right here. See that price traded into the before yesterday's zone, and it's already selling off. And then mark out here, which would be our first possible take profit level, because price might find support and give us some bit of struggle before it eventually breaks lower and maybe continue the sell move to the downside. All right. Please let me know if I'm talking to myself or this is actually sinking in. Let me know, let me know, let me know. All right, so price is now doing this. The sell structure for the reversal is pretty much in play. We want to see if price trades all in here and break. So if you've been catching this sell for a long time, you might want to take partials when price gets into the zone and then allow the rest to run so that we'll see if price is able to break below this level, right? Are we together, everyone? Mr. Shea, Mr. Liberty. AC Nature, I don't know if this is your real name, so I don't know if it's a Miss or a Mr. Kindly clarify. Okay, however, you should also bear in mind that US election is right around the corner and it's going to have a significant impact on financial markets because of the policy shifts that it may bring, right? So we could see some dollar volatility. It's either it skyrockets to the upside or to the downside based on who wins or who loses. So I'm not even actively looking to take any particular trade now, right? I'm not actively looking to trade currency pairs at the moment. The markets would be adjusting to the perceived outcome, especially if policy data or even exit results start pointing strongly in one direction, right? So I'm not looking to take any trades today on this particular market, but I'm going to be watching out to see what price does. So for me, this session, I'm going to be focusing on synthetics markets. If you're going to be trading currency pairs, especially the dollar correlated asset classes, you would want to be on the careful side. All right, and that's pretty much it for the commodity currency pairs that I am looking at. We're just watching. Are you going to be trading today, Mr. Shea? Are you actively trading today? All right, boring day, right? This session, nothing is even happening in this session, but I know it's just stalling. This is like the calm before the storm. Not much is happening in the market or in the charts right now. Everything is just moving slowly. Eventually, though, we're going to see crazy moves, right? So, yeah, it's a very boring day. Okay. How about Mr. Liberty William? Are you trading today, sir? Are you a full-time trader, or I think this is the first time I'm seeing this name on our market color sessions. This is your first time joining us, sir?
Today is not the first time of joining. Good morning. So I normally join through the YouTube. So it's today
Your
now.
bread and butter
Yesterday,
this week. You could look at the synthetics markets if you don't want to be on these charts. I'm sure you'd find a little butter and a little bread somewhere there. Okay, without taking too much more of our time, this is where we're going to be wrapping up the session. And we're going to reconvene at 2 p.m. for the rest, for a recap to see what the market has done before then. And we're just going to be sharing our insights on what we expect to happen next. Thank you so much for joining. It's been great. Kindly share this link with more people so that more people get to join us in these sessions. We're currently just 3 people online, right? This is totally free. So sharing links wouldn't exactly cost us anything. You could post it on your stories, your status, or even trading communities you are in that allow sharing of links so that more people can see this, please. All right. Okay, Mr. Liberty said, I just closed my current trades in profit. Hey, blues. The blues. That's nice. Amazing. All right. Okay. So just a quick reminder, FXB is coming to Abuja this month on the 27th of November 2024. And we're going to be covering different curriculums based on how different people trade. So if you know somebody who is interested in taking this training, kindly let them know. You could just send us a DM for the flyer or even drop the flyer in Market Color Group after this session, and you'd help us post those flyers on your platform so that more people can get to know about the training. It's going to be a very insightful time. We're also going to be having our CEO there himself in person, so you already know what he do. Okay, thank you so much for joining. Have an amazing day. Cheers to more blues in the market. God bless.
Thank you.